Okay. I just got into I wanted to come on and make this video because I saw something tonight that was a little bit disturbing for me. Um I s- I saw that some of the like male blog tube spaces are starting to like make response commentary videos that are misinterpreting points that like the regular female YouTubers are making. So one of the YouTubers that I follow, like I stay in the realm of like Kelly Stamps or Kiana Naomi. There's this other girl, and I actually made a response video to her because she made a video that was about hookup culture, right? And then I saw this other guy. I'm not gonna like name him or tag the video or anything, but I saw that he made a response video, and all I saw was like the clip. And like as I was scrolling through, I saw the um, how do you say it, the captions roll through, and he basically started getting at the point of like she's so upset that she let dudes like smash her out, right? And here's what I want to say, like. People from a certain part of Hotep culture will try to make you feel bad for participating in hookup culture, as though you have been some prostitute on the street and like you've been ran through by everybody. You might have slept with like two men, and they'll be like, "You whore, you low value bitch," or something. It'll just be like, what? Like, because here's the thing, like, unless you are literally a prostitute who's like sitting on the corner, who's like waiting for any man to come and then offer you money for sex, like, whoever, if you do participate in hookup culture in any capacity, this could be like situationships, it could be like very short-term boyfriend relationships, it could just be like one night stands, whatever the situation. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but hookup culture is definitely a very real part of like normal modern society in America. It just is. You can say whatever you want if you're from like the developing world and you're some woman who's just never done shit, like you don't even have a primary care physician or an OBGYN, just nothing, and you're like, yeah, I've never done anything. Like, bitch, video is not for you. Scroll past. Nobody's talking to you right now. If you have a smartphone, a job, okay, a car, some keys to somewhere, like you probably participated in hookup culture just at some point because it's a very normal thing. Now, nobody should make you feel bad for participating in hookup culture or as though you are like less than, and the men from Hotep world are just out to do this because like they cannot really participate in hookup culture in the same way any woman, even no matter your relative level of attractiveness. Women can seriously participate in hookup culture, which just like you are attractive, someone else finds you attractive, you guys have a moment of like mutual shared attractiveness, and then you just kind of like move on with your life, and like that is that. And it's not something where you know you need to hold it over somebody's head for 20 years and be like ha ha. But see, here's the thing, in like Hotep world and in like dusty incel world, they can't participate in hookup culture in the same way because they don't have the same level of prospects. Just think, like right now, like when I was on a dating app, I was on there for like maybe a month, like 3 weeks, something like that. I matched with like 250 people because I was just like, okay, anybody who I find like moderately attractive, I'm just gonna match with them, see how it goes. Now this is a very overwhelming number. I made a video about this back when I did it. Because you just like, it's just no way you could really get to know some. There were some very, very interesting dudes. Like I met one guy, I called him like my sex journal. I never even met the guy ever, but he just had all these stories that he would just tell me about like crazy shit that he had done. And I would just share it with like this other guy who I was like kind of friends with, and I'd be like, is this weird? Is this strange? Never even met the dude, but he just told me all these stories. Anyway, um, bro, like the point of this video though is that like it's like stop listening to these men. If you're a woman on this channel, I just want to come on, pop on, and let you know, like straight up, like if you shouldn't be, stop listening to all male music, stop watching male YouTube videos. stop, completely decenter them, first of all. Because, like, I remember there was a point when I was around too many pick-me-shas. So, like, my entire circle of women were all pick-me-shas. And all the men, I was just, like, listening to these male perspectives thinking that they were correct. They are not. If you want to hear a male perspective, a male perspective that's coming from a place of, like, values and sincerity and ethics, go listen to, like, any of the Daily Wire men. So that's like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles. Or I even think that Tony Gaskins at this point, I'm not going to say he's a part of the Daily Wire, but he's like a relationship guru. But I do think pretty much like 70%, maybe like 67% of the shit that he's saying is like on the right path of like, this makes sense, this can be applied in the real world. And I have never heard that from a black male, so I will actually promote this guy on my channel by name, saying I would probably listen to him. I would also say Destiny is a really good, even though he's like a bisexual male, I do think that like what he's saying is coming from a sense of pragmatism, which means that he sees both sides of the perspective. And I haven't heard him say anything at this point in relation to women that's completely outlandish. And every time he's actually confronted on a controversial issue, he seems to address it from an unbiased perspective in the way that he's able to, first of all, himself convey both sides of an argument, and then also kind of advocate for whatever side that he's promoting, because his politics are not totally leftist, they're not totally conservative. I feel like he's kind of like a centrist who's leaning more left. He's kind of like a moderate who's trending left. He's like trending heavily left, but at the same time, there's some shit that I heard from him where like he still promotes capitalism, and so I definitely wouldn't consider him like a super leftist at this point. I just can't, because I've seen the other side. I have seen the other side. Okay, so now that I've given you some examples, if you really do want like some male perspective of people who are like making some sense, go listen to them. But this is like a fair warning, like all the other dudes who are like online talking stuff, you need to stop listening to them. If you're a girl and you're on the internet, stop, unsubscribe, stop listening to the podcast. I would even go so far as to say stop listening to the music, because especially like there's a whole bunch of shit going on with Drake, Future, J. Cole, Chris Brown, Quavo, all these men who are saying shit, and it doesn't matter. It, like, honestly, you could argue up and down a mountain about who's right and who's wrong. The reality is it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are on the side of the girl who he is currently, whoever he is, because you be talking about a multitude of men here, whoever he likes at this point or doesn't like, or he's promoting or is not promoting, it doesn't fucking matter. You know why? Because first of all, like, this man is not in a committed relationship to you. You know how I know? Because if he was, he wouldn't be in the bullshit that I'm sitting here talking about right now. And so given that that's the case, everything that he says just has fucking nothing to do with you at all. And there are certain levels that these men will go through of bullshit to, like, they're circling kind of around the drain because none of them have like subscribed to like true like morality. Like, there is a book, we have Christianity, we have religious values, like they all know how to behave, they understand the rules and politics of like marriage and all the things. They just are literally choosing and actively choosing to not participate in them. Therefore, the morals and values that they actually like care about and attribute to are nothing. They don't have any. Or the morals that they do have, it's going to be way too difficult for you to understand them or for them to make any sense. So every day they're going to flip-flop, right? Like one day they're going to be like, oh, like you're going to see Drake at a strip club tossing millions of dollars, and the next day he's going to be like, I hate whores, and the next day he's going to be with Sexy Red, and you're going to be like, none of this makes any sense. You're going to see one day where like YG is like, fuck these whores, and next day he's dating Sweetie, who Chris Brown is calling a whore. The whole thing is just like, you see how none of it like makes any sense, none of it is aligning. No one is like actually going down this straight and narrow path of like, oh, this makes sense. And there are all these songs and albums that are coming out about promiscuity, threesomes. Kanye West has a Pornhub site. Like, all of it can't have anything to do with us. Let them be over there doing whatever the fuck that they are doing. Remove yourself from the narrative right now, because if you start to go down that drain of that bullshit narrative, it cycles right down into the garbage disposal until there's just nothing left. See, let me show you. First it starts to appear, you can't see it. Now you can see it. Now you can see it. Now it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. It's going down. You see how you can't see it anymore? That will be you if you keep going down that bullshit rabbit hole. So stop. Stop. I have come on here to tell you to stop. Point blank, period. We don't need it. It has nothing to do with us. Like I said before, get a cat, get a hobby, get a job, get an apartment. Bitch, go to happy hour, go to brunch on Sunday mornings if you have the time, okay? Go to dinner every fucking night. Every night. There are 7 days in a week, that's 7 dinners. There are 7 breakfasts, go to 7 breakfasts. There are 7 fucking lunches, go to 7 lunches. If for some reason you don't have time to go to lunch because you're working, okay, well, there's another day you can't work every single lunch day, so then put it on the calendar, and when you're not working, take your ass to brunch. If you're not working, are you sleeping? Did you shower already? Did you have your therapy session? Did you have your other meals? Did you financially plan so that you can live in a better place than you live now? Have you done all these things, ma'am? Do you have your boxes checked? If not, you don't have the time to be listening to whatever the fuck that they are saying. Because, like, we ain't got the time. Beyonce has come out with a new record, okay? Taylor Swift has come out with 2 new records, right? Anthology is literally part 2. We could talk about this because there's a lot to fucking say. There's 16 articles that have come out in the past 3 days. Have you read them all? Have you read them all? No. How many times have you listened to Cowboy Carter? Did you see As Told by Kenya unpack and literally rank all the songs in Cowboy Carter? Have you listened to Nappy Headed Jojoba's take on all the shit this week? Because she just got a Patreon. Are you subscribed? Are you subscribed? Have you caught up on the Kelly Stamps tea? Did you know that Kiana Naomi is putting out another video about some other shit that she did in Brazil? I don't even like Zendaya, but even this bitch has got out a movie and a whole bunch of interviews. Go watch any of those things, okay, that are happening right now are more progressive than listening to any of the thing in the... We're not even going to say any of their names. Stop listening to them. Decenter, divest. Let's talk about the shit that we got going on, because we got a lot of shit going on, and we got to move forward now. That's really all I have to say. I don't have too much more. That's what I have to say. But I'm very serious about that, and I want you all to know, like, how serious I am about it. And I just want you to, like, stick with me on that and, like, really just stay there, you know? Yeah. Anyway, have a good night.